McDonald's on Brainerd Road here. Over a dozen campaigners are expected in a van in a matter of minutes, so that they may even enter the building, and they're protesting about low wages and minimum wages for fast food workers.
The Pier Head Bar and Restaurant in Kinvara. It's a seaside village right on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. I'm joined by a fantastic traditional Irish musician, that's Jacqueline McCarthy. Jacqueline, why is traditional Irish music so important here in the west coast of Ireland?
A Whitfield County man will spend the rest of his life behind bars for murder. Judge Cindy Morris sentenced 23-year-old Jonathan Durden to life without parole. Durden stood trial in the stabbing death of 29-year-old Ricky Grice in Rocky Face. One of the first companies to locate at Chattanooga's Centre South Riverport is closing part of its operations and laying off 30 people. Chemical plant NA Industries off Amnacola Highway is moving some production to Houston, Texas. But the real question is, what do Tennesseans and Chattanoogans think of smoking a bowl? Medical professionals from across Tennessee have come here to Chattanooga to learn from each other how to save lives and do so more effectively. It's a little bit bigger than last year. The weather's slightly overcast, but that's not stopping people from enjoying their food. And I'm actually joined by Kim. Kim, what exactly is going on right here? Because it smells amazing. After years of campaigning, the Dyslexia is Real bill moved one step closer to reality on Monday. It passed the Senate 31-0, and local learning support groups say dyslexia is a major issue in East Tennessee. Students who are struggling in the classroom or have dyslexia come here to Learning RX in Chattanooga to get that extra boost and move forward with their education.
The students that come in here, they struggle a lot, and they've struggled their entire school career.
The unique programs are designed by a doctor with dyslexia, and demand for them in Chattanooga has been growing every year.
And having a student just try to answer a question in class. Once they get that, they'll kind of build up from there.
A lot of people don't understand it. And what we love to do is we love to be more of a resource to schools and really also to physicians.
Hamilton County Schools say if legislation does change, they will work with the students in their schools who need the extra support. Trafficking of children for sex is an issue that has plagued our society for decades. Jessica Lauren Posey now faces 7 years in prison for trafficking a 16-year-old through Tennessee, Kentucky and Ohio. Those in the sex industry in Chattanooga are not surprised that children this young are being exploited.
They're 11 and 17-year-olds doing this, and they was like, yeah, human trafficking, like, duh.
Raven has been working as an escort for over 5 years and says there is a huge demand for young girls.
Fetishes with young girls, and that's what they want. They pay more. They'll pay $1,000 for somebody that's underage. As long as you're under the age of 17, they'll pay big money for you.
Raven believes she can see why someone trafficked the 16-year-old victim from city to city and state to state.
You know, when somebody's selling you and they're taking care of you, once again, if you're going to move around, you got to move wherever they move. If you don't move when they move, then you're just going to be stuck there. And they don't care to leave you there.
Despite protests from concerned mothers in Atlanta Tuesday, the Georgia Senate passed a bill that some say could cause more damage than good. The bill could allow licensed gun holders to enter bars and some churches with permission from the congregation.
Well, our town is certainly a right to carry Second Amendment town, and the good news for us is that we have a wonderful cooperation with our local sheriff and police department, and we're just right across the street from the city hall. The pastor added the security of his congregation, young and old, is always top of his agenda. We do double up on our efforts to be a safe place, so we can protect all of our children and the folk coming through our doors, for sure. A number of pastors we spoke to in Tunnel Hill added the choice of who can carry a gun into a church should be made entirely by each individual congregation, regardless of their location in the state. The sales of guns have been rising steadily in North Georgia in recent months. For the folks here in Ringgold, regardless of what happens to the bill, their main concern is gun safety in our community.
Firearms in the community attribute to people not walking into a church or not walking into a designated area where they know that people are going to be carrying.
Nauman says firearm education is crucial.
Even teaching gun safety have been taken out of the schools, and I believe it's a large problem for kids because they do not have any type of training or any respect for the firearm when they see it.
The legislation would also see a fine of $100 for those carrying a gun into a church without the permission of the congregation. In Ringgold, Georgia, James Mahon, WDEF News 12. I don't know what's going on behind me. A lot of noise, a lot of confusion. People are very happy. They're enjoying themselves. These folks are hurting each other unnecessarily.
Get a whiff of that.
That's horrible. It's horrible. It's worse than an Irish Spring. That's sick. What? It's
horrible. That's my frigate. You think you know what that is? I don't think so. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You're lucky. Come on, you're getting
Arnie suffered physical, emotional and sexual abuse from her former husband before he fled to Ohio. But the real question is, how much of an issue is this and what's been done to tackle it? Mahindra tractor, and for as little as $10,000 these can be purchased right here in Chattanooga.